Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 341, Return to Oz. My name is Eric.
My name is Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Eric.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right, I guess.
All right.
I am already having an existential crisis anyway in my life in general, and this movie did not help.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
This movie is an existential nightmare.
It kind of is. Oh, boy. This 80s kids movie ruined your life.
But not when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just as a 45-year-old, quote-unquote, man.
I mean, it marked me when I was a kid. I don't know that I'd say it ruined my life, but it definitely left a lasting impression.
You're not the first person I've ever heard that from, as far as this movie goes, and their childhood is concerned.
Right.
I felt like this movie had almost no effect on me as a kid.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of movies you were watching as a kid. Like, were you watching actual horror movies when you were a kid?
I mean, I saw some, sure.
Yeah.
But I was also watching, your standard children fare.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're also a little bit older than me.
Yeah, I was.
So.
This movie came out. I was about 8.
Yes, 85.
85. So
Yeah.
7 or 8.
Yeah, I was 2.
Yeah.
So.
So you probably didn't see this until later.
Yeah. I said this was a frequent rental. In the later 80s.
Now, you have older siblings.
I do have an older brother. Yeah.
How much older?
He's 9 years older than me.
Ooh, that is a big difference.
8.5. Yeah.
Okay. So probably not anything he was watching
I don't know that he's ever seen this movie. Actually.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably has.
I don't know.
Right.
I really have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have very distinct memories of going to Blockbuster Video with my parents on a Friday night or whatever, and they told me to pick out a few tapes to watch over the weekend.
Sure.
And G.I. Joe the movie was a frequent rental, so frequent that my parents ended up just buying it for me.
Good for them.
And then there were VHS tapes of old DC and Marvel cartoons.
Oh yeah.
And then Return to Oz.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't say I saw this more than just a handful of times as a kid.
Okay.
I'm sure it was, when it came out on video, my mom rented it. I definitely didn't see this in the theater.
Yeah.
And then, I probably saw it like in, classrooms or just, various affairs where other children were at and adults had no idea what to do. So just, here's a movie, watch it.
All right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they would ever have shown this movie in the Catholic grade school that I went to. There's too much witchcraft. So they did show Prancer pretty regularly.
Okay.
Which is a movie about the reindeer.
Right, sure.
The titular Prancer.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about that other than I've seen it many times in classrooms around Christmas time.
I cannot say I ever saw that movie.
You're good.
All right.
I can tell you that pretty confidently. You're
All right.
good.
A friend of mine sent me a screenshot from like some California news station. It was like a Christmas time celebration weather forecast, and it was like all sorts of different counties or something like that, with names like St. Nicholas Falls or like Santa Claus Lane, and Donner Lake.
Yeah, I saw that going around.
Yeah. Not named after the reindeer.
Right. You know what? Cannibalism is also, it's family together time at Christmas.
Sure.
Yeah. Doing what you gotta do to survive.
Yeah. Cannibalism has popped up a lot for me lately, but I have been watching Hannibal recently. So,
That would do it. Yeah. That's sort of a key component.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Return to Oz.
Return to Oz. No cannibalism in it that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I'm sure there's probably like some sort of weird subculture in Oz.
Yeah.
Some Oz residents who, partake.
Yeah, I mean, what do the Wheelers eat?
True.
Yeah.
What are the Wheelers?
Just this like, weird tweaker gang in Oz. The Wheelers are straight up nightmare fuel, is what the fucking Wheelers are.
Yeah.
One of the many things that scarred me as a child. maybe the second most prominent thing in the movie that scarred me as a child.
What's the first?
Oh, the hallway of heads screaming at Dorothy when she steals the powder of life from Mombi, and then headless Mombi chasing her.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So there are a couple times where I just got really anxious during this movie.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of those scenes. Another one was when Dorothy lands in Oz and she discovers the broken yellow brick road.
Yes.
And she just starts running and to try to get to the Emerald City.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept thinking about a couple weeks ago. I went to go visit my dad in the hospital, and I fell, like, at the hospital.
Oh, no.
Because I wasn't looking where I was going. I wasn't looking down to see that there was a step in the sidewalk. Let alone a road full of broken bricks.
Yeah.
And she is just sprinting.
She's got to be, like, getting those knees up to make sure her toes not catching on anything. Because, yeah, you're right. That is absolutely just like the wrong step and you're breaking your ankle.
Yep. Just look down, Dorothy.
Yeah. Oof. So this movie's interesting.
It is very interesting.
Because it's a sort of sequel to the original one,
right?
The MGM musical.
Yeah.
But it's also, I feel like a little more faithful to the books.
Yeah,
at least the tone and feel of the books.
Yeah.
Anyway,
because this is not a musical.
This is not a musical. Yes.
Yeah.
If you came into this movie expecting a musical, as I don't know if I did as a child, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'm sorely disappointed.
I think when I saw this, at the time, and having seen Wizard of Oz, just I was not as adverse to musicals as modern day Eric is.
Sure. I did find myself while we were watching it thinking, what would a musical version of this movie be like? Like, what's the song about electroshock therapy like? How does Beware the Wheelers go?
I think you just found yourself a new life's goal.
How does Queen Mombi's ballad, I'm Losing My Head, go?
That's your showstopper right there.
It really is, yeah. Oh, man. This
movie is kind of dark and twisted.
Yes.
Yeah.
In that way, it's an 80s kids movie, basically.
Sure, yeah. They definitely don't make kids movies like this anymore.
No.
I was thinking during another anxious scene when they're flying the rapidly breaking sofa moose.
Right. He's a gump, thank you.
He is a gump. I kept thinking that if this was made today, like he'd be farting. There'd be like poop jokes, and it would just be awful.
Yeah. I do think, kids' movies today lean more towards existential dread than actual terror, or at least as far as, like, I feel like there's a lot in kids' movies today that connects with adults on that level, even if it doesn't necessarily connect with kids. At least I'm just thinking about, like, Pixar movies.
Yeah,
like
I'd say that's mostly just Pixar.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of the Disney originals.
Yeah.
But I'd say, like, for the most part, like, any other kids movie is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I don't watch enough kids movies.
Yeah. I've seen a handful.
Yeah. Does Across the Spider-Verse count as a kids movie?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like, and tell me if you feel this way, I feel like there was sort of a Wizard of Oz, like, resurgence in the late 80s. And I don't know, maybe that was just for me, because that was when I first discovered it and got into it. But, like, there's this movie, and then I remember there was an animated series on ABC that I watched, like, in the mornings, and it's basically like Dorothy has the slippers just in her closet.
Okay.
And she can go to Oz anytime she wants. And the Wicked Witch is there. And it was weird.
I do not remember that cartoon at all.
Okay.
But I don't know, I guess Wizard of Oz has just always been sort of a presence.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was just a resurgence or if it just was a thing.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it could just be because that's when I was becoming aware of it, and
sure,
was, I guess if one is really into the Wizard of Oz, that was when I was really into the Wizard of Oz.
Okay, I mean, there are definitely people who are into Wizard of the Oz.
Yeah.
I know. My ex lady person was really into it. She was younger than both of us, and I know people who have just been obsessed, like just own, all sorts of Wizard of Oz stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's. I'm sure it being, broadcast on TV a lot, probably factored into that.
Yeah.
Kind of like almost like for horror fans, like Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Just the fact that it's so prominent as just like something that's just on TV.
Yeah.
It feels like, it felt like Wizard of Oz was on, at least when I was a kid, like at least twice a year, if not more. And if you had cable, it was on a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, like I think I mentioned last episode when you announced this movie that like it was literally just on TV when I went to work, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I think it's just because it is popular and it is just so prevalent.
Yeah, I mean it is definitely a major cultural touchstone.
Yeah. I do remember Wizard of Oz comics, like from the 80s and 90s. Eric Shanauer.
Oh, nice.
I think it's his big thing.
Okay.
And then of course he sort of did a resurgence with that with Scotty Young.
Yeah, that's right.
2010s.
Yeah.
With Marvel. Somewhere here, over in that shelf area. Yeah, there it is. There's the big ass Marvel omnibus of all the Scotty Young Wizard of Oz stories.
Nice.
Which I think were like faithful adaptations of the original novels. So I've never read any of the actual novels. Have you?
No.
Okay. I guess this one is the movie Return to Oz is, I guess, based on two of the novels.
Yeah, like maybe the second and third in the series. It looked like.
I guess. I mean,
yeah.
It would at least fit in if that's sort of the timeline we're going with also tying it into the original movie.
Yeah.
Which, as you said, is kind of a sequel.
Yeah, it's like a sideways sequel.
Yeah.
There are elements that are familiar from that. I mean, the biggest thing is the ruby slippers.
Yeah.
Because those were an invention for the original movie.
Right.
Because in the novels, they're silver.
Yes.
So Disney had to pay MGM a fee in order to use the ruby slippers specifically in this movie.
Right. I think I read that it was a pretty nominal fee.
I can imagine it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those things are in the Smithsonian. So.
Yeah. I think when I was like in the 3rd grade, like, you know, the Scholastic catalog would come through, and I think I wound up picking up like a random Oz book.
Okay.
But I don't think I ever actually read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I think it was Dorothy of Oz or something like that, or Dorothy in the Land of Oz. I don't recall.
Okay.
Dorothy's name was in the title of the book.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I wish you knew more about that. It would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, could have.
Excuse me. Any hoodle. I'm an asshole. I do wish I knew stuff about the Oz books, though. Like, they sound interesting.
Sure.
And I know there's a bunch of them.
You want to borrow that omnibus?
I'll look for it on my own.
Okay. I mean, I got that at Ollie's for like, $15.
Hell yeah. All right. I'll head to Ollie's tomorrow.
It's no longer there.
Damn it.
Yeah. Huber Music and Video, I believe, has a copy though.
Okay, excellent.
But it's like $70.
God damn it. I only want it if it's $15.
Should have gone to Ollie's 6 years ago.
Well, I didn't know we would be doing this episode of this podcast at that point. Also, I didn't live in Ohio 6 years ago. Oh boy. So what'd you think of it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's interesting. I was thinking like along the lines of, 80s kids movies. This movie came out a year after The Neverending Story came out.
Okay.
And I got a real Neverending Story vibe from it. Just the way that it's sort of episodic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, she goes to one place, and then she goes to another place and meets someone, and then she goes to another place and meets someone, and blah, blah, blah. And it's felt structurally kind of similar to The Neverending Story in that way.
I'd say the original is a lot like that, too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Just no dead people hanging out in the background or whatever. Yeah,
it's true.
This time that we know of.
That was a bird. I think. I don't know.
But I did mostly in the look and feel of the Nome King as compared to the Rockbiter from Neverending Story.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Just sort of that. A lot of the puppetry stuff, I think, is really what keyed me into that.
Yeah.
Sort of thought.
Yeah.
I will say, visually, this movie is pretty amazing.
The puppetry is excellent.
Yeah.
Jack Pumpkinhead is fantastic.
Yep. I'd say they all are pretty much.
Yeah.
I like TikTok the best.
TikTok is the best.
Yeah.
TikTok is cool.
Yeah, not the app.
No, yeah.
Just the robot man.
I mean, I've fallen down TikTok app rabbit holes. But TikTok the robot, the army of Oz, he is the Brute Squad. He's excellent.
He is.
I loved him from the minute he appeared.
Yep. I was so happy at the end when he's all shiny.
I know, they really C-3PO'd him.
Yep, I had that thought too.
Yeah.
it really is kind of a Star Wars ending at the end.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, for an Oz movie, there's just a lot of other influences happening. A lot of post-Oz influences.
Yeah.
and then, like, there's a lot of claymation work that some of it is kind of the Nome King's spy.
Oh yeah, just the face and the rock. Yeah, that's a little
Cheap.
Yeah, I guess is the word I would use.
It's the word I picked.
Yeah. I thought the Nome King as a combination of a stop motion creature and a guy in heavy gray makeup with prosthetics, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked his change.
Yeah.
And it took me like two of those scenes to realize what was happening.
Yeah.
But it was effective nonetheless.
Yeah. At first I was like, well, they had to do that because they had to give him feet.
Right.
So that they could show that the Nome King is just chilling in the ruby slippers.
Well, sure.
Yeah. I'm sure they feel good on his feet.
You don't kink shame.
No, I'm not.
All right.
No, I would never. Sure, the Wizard of Oz and its fandom is known for their many strange kinks.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I mean, they're friends of Dorothy for a reason.
It's
okay. I don't know.
No, I don't either.
Scratch all that.
I never understood what that meant for a long time. And then I rewatched The Wizard of Oz and I saw it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can cut all that.
Yep.
It's fine, no one's listening.
It's true. What did you think of this movie? So you had been wanting to watch this for a while, I guess.
It had been a while since I'd seen it.
Yeah. And as you said, you purchased the Blu-ray because it's been out of print for a long time.
Yeah, and if they ever decide to remove it from Disney Plus for some reason, I will still have the option to be able to watch it.
Yep.
Because physical media forever.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not a good movie, but I love it.
All right.
I love the creatures. I think Farouja Balk is extremely charming as Dorothy.
I agree.
There are some parts where it feels like she's doing a bit of a Judy Garland impression, and then other parts where it's just like that's just her. Like it just seems like she's just inhabiting that role.
Right. And I mean, this is her first movie.
Yeah.
I have no idea how old she was.
It said she was 10.
10? All right. And she pretty much has to carry the movie entirely by herself.
Yeah, it's her and a chicken.
Yeah, she is working with, puppeteers.
Yeah. So, yeah, her performance is really impressive.
Yeah.
When you think about that.
She has, maybe 4 scenes with the actual other humans.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's doing a bang-up job from the get-go.
I could live without the chicken.
Yeah.
And which is a shame because the chicken is a key part of the plot.
Yep.
But the chicken didn't need to talk so much.
Not just the chicken, but I feel like there was a lot of this movie that just felt like ADR. Fuck, we don't know how to make this scene work. Let's just re-record a whole bunch of dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, Belina in particular, when they first arrive in Oz, I feel like every single thing she says was ADR, and just improvise.
Yep.
And it's not working.
Yeah, just we listen to much better podcasts about comedians.
Yeah.
And often they talk about doing punch-up for movies that have already been completely written, filmed.
Right.
And that's sort of also a thing that I felt with this movie, too.
I can definitely see that, yeah.
Especially, when you have characters like Jack Pumpkinhead or the Scarecrow whose faces don't move.
Yeah.
And you can get away with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, when I was a kid, I thought it was so cool that the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion were in this, and that the Tin Man actually looks like a Tin Man.
Sure.
And that the lion is an actual lion. Oh, I thought that was so cool.
They look awesome.
They look fantastic.
The Tin Man in particular just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The lion is...
it's a puppet lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
She rides the lion at the end, and it's really fun.
Yeah. But there was a part of me that was like, as I guess silly as the originals kind of look, where it's actors where you can see their face. At the same time, there's an expressiveness that they have that these puppets just don't.
Yeah, it is an interesting choice on the Scarecrow to make it just masks with stuck expressions,
right?
Because of those three characters, the Scarecrow is the one with probably the closest to a human face,
right?
So they could have just made up someone's face to be the Scarecrow, but then they also would have had to pay someone. So that's probably part of it.
But at the same time, if you look at the credits, there's 3 people doing the work of each individual character.
It's true. It's true.
And for the life of me, I guess 2 puppeteers and a voice artist. I don't know.
Basically, yeah. I mean, Jack was Brian Henson and another guy,
right?
And then Brian Henson did the voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are other characters that are multiple puppeteers, and then another actor doing the voice work.
Right, like just in case.
Yes, as the Scarecrow. Fuck that guy.
Or as the Gump. Actually, I think he was one of the puppeteers, but the Gump was performed by Stephen Norrington, a.k.a. the director of Blade.
I was going to say, that name sounds really familiar to me. That's interesting. That's very strange.
And also the director of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, after which he disappeared from Earth.
Aw, him and Sean Connery both.
Yeah, I think they both drove each other to it.
Maybe Sean Connery murdered him, and then that's why he retired from acting.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah.
He does have a license to kill.
It's true. Boy. I read that that TikTok for the movement scenes, where he's walking around. There's a guy in the suit upside down, so walking on his hands, so that his body fits in the suit.
Right.
It's so strange, but it also the way that he moves is so fun.
Right.
And it's so cool.
I hope that guy got paid a lot.
Oh yes, I hope so as well.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
But then again, there was a guy inside of R2D2, and that sounds like a nightmare too.
It's
so,
true. Yeah. What was he doing in there?
Moving the head.
His head?
I don't know.
Yeah, because he wasn't controlling the wheels and stuff. I don't think.
I guess not.
I guess when he got
there's a couple times he wobbles.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Maybe he was just doing the voice.
Maybe. What?
Inside with a voice modulator.
Okay.
He's saying actual stuff.
What if so you know how on set when they're filming Star Wars, David Prowse is in the Darth Vader costume,
right,
saying the dialogue of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
What if there were written lines for R2D2? I feel like that's the case for Chewbacca too. Peter Mayhew was reading actual words, and then they just replaced it all with growls. That would be hilarious. If Kenny Baker is in there saying, I don't think we should do it, or we need to go this way, C-3PO.
Then it just beeps and beeps.
Our mission is to get to Obi-Wan.
I hope.
I do too.
Yeah.
Let's see that. Or at least in the human voices cut.
Come on, George. That would preclude that George Lucas had forethought into what he was doing.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah, I love this movie. It's not great.
It's not. It's cute.
Yeah.
It is very dark.
Dorothy almost gets electroshocked.
Yeah, that part is it's definitely the darkest part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking real.
Right. Yeah, boy, the late 1800s sure were a time.
Sure were. And how?
Just the end, when she returns home, which, if you're Dorothy, why would you ever want to go back home? Especially your aunt just threw you in an insane asylum to be electrified.
I mean, just for the day. She didn't know. Piper Laurie didn't know. Catherine Martell didn't know.
Is that the original?
No, Catherine Martell, I believe, is her character's name on Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yep. So why would you ever go home? And then when she is home, I immediately thought that they're just going to check her back into another insane asylum.
Right. Yeah. No, everything's fine when she gets home.
Yeah, no, well, luckily the insane asylum burned down.
Right.
With the doctor inside, we'd save his precious machines.
Yeah, I mean, you go down with the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it.
And then you brought a very good point. So the nurse is seen in like a paddy wagon.
Yeah, the nurse who in Oz was Queen Mombi, who had been arrested for crimes against the crown.
Right.
I guess. And stripped of her magic abilities.
Yeah.
And so mirroring that in the real world, she is in some sort of prison paddy wagon.
Right. But as far as we know, she didn't actually commit any crimes that we're aware of.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything that was happening at that hospital was perfectly legal.
Yeah.
Unless there was some sort of investigation going on
right.
into what was happening there that before Dorothy even got there. Like, this investigation had been going on for months. And they finally just, the raid happened the night the place burned down. I mean, she was a jerk, but it didn't seem like she was doing anything illegal.
Right, and then there's a morality issue, but it was, early medicine. They barely know what they're... I mean, honestly, doctors barely know what they're doing now.
True.
But, nothing illegal, just shady, I guess.
Yeah.
At worst.
Yeah, she was a little mean to the patients.
Yeah. I've had mean nurses.
Yeah, everybody has.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. But as I said, she got arrested for being a woman.
Right, being a woman practicing medicine.
Yep, in the 1800s.
Yeah.
1898.
1899.
Okay.
Yeah. Only 2 months away from the new century.
I didn't remember if it was 2 months or 2 years.
Yeah, because I think they said Halloween was coming up.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was October 1899.
Yeah. So, Oz is real, or Oz is just a Kaiser Soze of everything that Dorothy ever sees? Thoughts?
I think Oz is real.
Okay.
I think Oz is real.
All right.
Yeah. I think it's real. Because otherwise, what are we doing here? What lesson did she learn here? Like in the original one, she learns that there's no place like home.
Sure.
In this one, she learns, I don't know what. She has to go home.
Yeah, that is weird.
For reasons?
There is no real lesson here. There's no arc to her.
Yeah, I mean, she saves the day.
Sure.
She sees all her friends again.
Yeah.
Maybe she comes to terms with the fact that no one will ever believe her about it.
I guess.
I don't know, but then she tries to show Aunt M Ozma in the mirror, and Ozma's like, no, don't do it.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, what is Dorothy's arc here? There is none.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how recently you've seen the original or not, but going back to my Kaiser Soze thing.
Yeah.
Is it as obvious in the original that things are corresponding between Earth and Oz as here we get a literal pumpkin head brought to her,
right?
And the machine has a face, and then TikTok, and
yeah. I mean, I know her three companions are like the farmhands,
right?
And there's like when she's in the tornado in the house, like she sees, I think is it like Mrs. Gulch or whatever, like the mean lady.
Yeah.
Like she sees her on her bike, and then she turns into the witch.
Right.
Like before our eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I feel like it's pretty obvious.
Okay.
I think it's maybe not as like there's not a direct correlation between everything in the original one as much as there is in this one, I think.
Yeah.
But like like even the lunch pails, like they take her little lunch pail at the asylum, and then when she gets to Oz, she finds the lunch pail tree.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it maybe, I don't feel like it really hits you over the head.
Right.
But there's a lot more of it in this one than in the original one, I think.
Yeah, again, I don't know if I'm just looking at this, like in the rear view, sort of look at it, I am aware of this, and when I was 7 or 8 or whenever, I saw this, I was not as aware of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely had no idea when I was a kid. Yeah. Oh, the Nome King is the doctor?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He rocks. Yeah. Oh my god, I gotta think about this. Is Oz real? I do think it's real, but I don't know why I think it's real. I think it's real because my heart wants it to be real.
That is as good an answer as any, and honestly, I am with you. Oz is real.
Okay, thank you.
I was not trying to gotcha or anything like this.
It's an interesting question to ponder. I'd honestly never really thought about it.
To me, anyone who thinks that Oz isn't real is like the same type of people who think that James Bond is a series of different people with the same code name.
Right.
Nah, fuck that. It's just all the same guy. Stop putting logic to things. Just allow things to be fantastical.
Yeah, I agree.
Have a suspension of disbelief, for God's sakes.
Do you imagine that they wanted this to be a franchise?
Oh, absolutely.
Were they really that aware of franchises in the 80s?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably.
At this point,
Yeah.
Lots of movies with sequels out there. I mean, I know Disney has been desperate to have Oz stuff forever.
Yeah.
And just for whatever reason, it's just never taken off.
Yeah.
I think they definitely see it as a moneymaker, but they just can't figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, the original is so sort of untouchable.
Yeah.
Like it's just so iconic. Like, it's almost too much.
Yeah. I think, with the Marvel comics, I think that came out during the Disney acquisition there.
Yeah.
And then, Oz the Great and Powerful, which was not good.
Yeah.
They keep trying, but it just not happening.
Yeah. One of these days they'll crack it.
Maybe. Yeah. I will say this for Oz the Great and Powerful, and for the original, that this movie does not have is a good separation between the real world and Oz.
Okay.
I think, obviously the original going from, black and white to Technicolor is like, one of those movie magic, things, and then like the first time that had ever happened. And it was, amazing still to see.
Yeah.
And Oz the Great and Powerful does it pretty well as well by having the opening of it being black and white and full frame, and then gradually but stunningly changing to widescreen and color.
I did not remember that about that.
I watched it last year.
Okay.
So I remember. And yeah, I other than like obvious matte paintings.
Yeah.
There's not a huge transition between when Dorothy transitions from real world to Oz.
Right.
that I feel like something could have been done, to differentiate just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like maybe the colors are a little more muted, but who knows?
Yeah.
But it's still in color and it's still widescreen.
I hadn't thought about that really either.
And also, other than just that horrible goddamn chicken.
Why, when the chicken goes to Oz, does it get to talk? But when Toto goes to Oz in the first one, Toto doesn't get to talk.
Right?
What the fuck? I want to hear Toto's thoughts and feelings about everything that's happening.
Exactly. You know what? Also, this movie needed more Toto.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. Toto is a treasure.
Yep.
And he is criminally underutilized in this movie.
Absolutely.
Though I did see that the dog that played Toto, whose name was Tansy?
Yep.
Right? Was just like someone's family dog.
Oh.
That they auditioned a bunch of dogs to do it, so they didn't really need an actor dog.
No.
They just needed a dog to be around for a few scenes.
I mean, he was great.
He was great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So more of them.
Yeah.
More Toto.
More Tansy.
Yeah. Justice for Tansy.
I would also like to see a cut of the original Wizard of Oz, where all of Toto's barking and Oz is replaced with dialogue. Like when he goes and reveals the wizard behind the curtain, he's like, "Guys, you see this fucking guy over here?"
So Toto is foul-mouthed.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Maybe when you do Return to Oz the musical,
Yes.
you can replace Bellino with Toto.
Yes. No, then what's poison?
If
If not chickens, dog turds?
I guess.
Yeah.
It's a little gross.
It is a little gross.
Yeah.
But it's modern. It's a modern kids movie.
That's right, yep. We nailed it.
Oh, I'm glad that I watched this with you.
You know, I enjoyed watching this. Yeah, it's not a great movie, but it is enjoyable.
It is beloved in my heart.
Yeah, it is visually stunning. Yeah, Fairuza Balk fucking nailing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd recommend watching this.
I would. It's definitely worth the watch. I mean, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long it is, but it's worth whatever time it is.
I don't think very long. But
Hour and a half. Maybe?
hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. Return to Oz.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything bringing you any degree of happiness this week?
Oh boy, I've been thinking about this all day because we know we got to answer this, and I had almost nothing. My original answer was going to be that the fact that I am incredibly sad and crippling depressed, but at least I don't want to kill myself. That's bringing me up.
I mean, that is something.
Yeah. But then we went.
Great something.
Yeah. But then we went to Taco Bell,
Yeah.
and they brought back the double-decker taco. And quite frankly, it's made me the happiest I've been in like 3 weeks.
So what's different about the double-decker taco from, say, a cheesy or a gordita crunch?
Okay. So the double-decker taco is regular taco.
Okay.
And
Hard shell taco.
Hard shell taco.
Okay.
Wrapped in a soft shell taco.
Okay.
With refried beans as the adhesive that holds them together.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. And, I mean, some people might say, the cheesy gordita crunch is far superior because there's cheese.
Right.
And it's like one of those fluffy gordita shells.
Yeah.
And yeah, those are good too.
Sure.
But there's just something majestically simple about the soft shell and the hard shell together.
And the refried beans is a really nice inclusion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It may be heresy to say this, but sometimes you don't need that much cheese.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Like I had a cheese quesadilla, and they put the shredded cheese on there, but they also put like the cheese sauce on there.
Yeah.
Too much cheese sauce.
Yep.
Like, cut back on that a little bit, guys.
I agree.
Yeah.
Whenever they have anything with cheese sauce in it, it's too much.
Yeah.
Just one pump.
Exactly.
I mean, it's all I've ever been.
Everybody knows you're a one pump chump.
Yep.
That's right. So the double-decker taco.
Double-decker taco.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. It's been off the menu for far too long. I think longer than the Mexican pizza.
Oh, wow.
Which has come back at least twice
Right.
in the last couple of years.
Right.
So I'm hoping this is a return to that. And, that just... It brought me a stupid amount of joy to see that on the menu today.
That's awesome.
What about you, sir?
My thing was going to be feeling better after being sick for like 3 weeks.
Right?
Because that is really nice.
Sure.
But then I read Batman Santa Claus Silent Night #1. And that is the thing that is bringing me so much joy this week. Is a team-up comic between the Batman family and Santa Claus.
Nice. I have not read it yet, but I plan to.
It's wonderful.
I'm looking forward to it now.
Santa Claus is a badass.
Nice.
And a beefcake.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Speaking of beefcake badass Santa Clauses, I recently got the PDF copy of the complete Grant Morrison Dan Mora Claus series.
Nice.
So soon to be shipped physical copy eventually here.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so I was flipping through that today, and it brought me a lot of joy. And so I guess that I'll include that with my Double Taco thing.
I actually haven't read that, but reading this Batman Santa Claus comic, which Dan Mora does the covers too, so I feel like it's sort of like we got the Claus guy to do them.
We know what we're doing.
We do know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But reading that made me want to read the Morrison Mora stuff too. So,
good.
So yeah, hopefully I'll do that before the month is out.
Nice.
Little comic book celebration at Christmas.
Yeah. Did you get the Kickstarter or the
No,
okay.
I did not.
Borrow whenever I get it.
I think it's all on Hoopla.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll check it out there. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I posted something on Blue Sky today that I know Mark Waid has Dan Mora chained up in his basement at the moment, but I really do hope that at some point, he and Grant Morrison can do another, because for a while they were releasing like one a year.
Okay.
Because they did the original 7-issue series, and then I think they released like 4, maybe more.
Morrison.
Yeah. One-shot stories that would come out like right at Christmas time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so then they just stopped again, probably because Dan Mora got really popular.
Yeah.
And I think Grant Morrison may have just left comics altogether.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing right now.
I mean, they had a novel released last year, which I'm actually currently listening to the audiobook. It's weird.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
The last story they wrote that I can think of was from the DC Pride one shot.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did do that. Before that, I think was the Superman Authority series.
That's right. Yeah.
And they did. There was a mini-series that came out last year, 2 years ago, like Proctor County something or other. I don't know. It was like an independent book. I think.
Okay.
Maybe Boom put it out.
Oh yeah, it was like Proctor County Road or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
They co-wrote it with someone else, which was kind of a clue to me that they probably didn't.
They had some conversations, and then the other person went off and wrote it.
Yeah. And also, I think, like, I noticed, like, cause I'm so much of a nerd that sometimes I will read the indicia to see, who the copyright is by.
Yeah.
And it was NBC Universal.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And I know that they had a deal where they were doing, like, production work for NBC.
Okay.
Universal. And I guess maybe this was one of those things that...
Interesting.
Was possibly pitched as a TV show or something, and they just made it into a comic.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, Batman Santa Claus.
Yeah,
check it out.
I'm looking forward to that.
Releasing weekly this month, so it will all be done by the end of the year.
I know it's written by Jeff Parker.
Yes.
Drawn by
Michelle Bandini.
I don't know that name.
Oh, I can't think of what else he's done, but he's good.
Okay.
He's done a bunch of stuff.
All right.
But yeah, I will read any Jeff Parker written Batman comics. Basically,
Sure.
he's got a good Batman and Robin dynamic in this one. So
Nice.
yeah, very good.
Which Robin?
Damien.
Okay.
But still fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just write some like Robin.
Yeah. I got nothing against Damien, but I got more for Tim.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a real quick question.
Okay, sure.
Batman related.
Let's do it.
Because I did read the new issue of Batman.
Sure.
The regular series. Chip Zdarsky.
Yes.
When did the Joker figure out that he was Bruce Wayne?
Oh, I don't remember when that happened. When did that happen? It might have been during Joker War.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah, I think that was when it was.
All right.
But I don't. Yeah, because part of Joker War was that he was going after Bruce Wayne as well.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know how that happened. I remember there was the implication in Death of the Family that the Joker had been to the Batcave before and knew where it was, and so could locate it and knew what it was under and all that. So, but yeah, I don't remember when that was officially established.
Okay.
I do think it was part of Joker War, but that's a fuzzy recollection at best.
I tried to Google it, and all it came up with was, did Heath Ledger's Joker know that? It's like I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah. Also, no, he didn't.
Yeah,
No.
And then I guess my other question is that I know that there were at least 2 Jokers running around in the Joker self-titled series.
Yeah.
Which I think originally was just a Jim Gordon book and then wasn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it relaunched as Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing.
Yes.
Then yes, it was more of a Joker's book.
Yeah. Yes.
I never finished that, so
Okay,
I don't
then.
know.
All right.
But there are 3 Jokers.
Okay.
Yeah. That has come up a few times.
Yeah.
In Batman, that there are 3 Jokers.
Yeah.
So.
There.
Yeah.
I choose to ignore that part. I read that damn series.
Yeah.
Oh
no, that doesn't count.
Oh, that doesn't count?
No, I don't think that counts.
Okay, but there are still 3 Jokers.
There are still 3 Jokers. I think the implication there was that during the Batman of Gotham storyline when Bruce was in a separate and alternate Earth.
Yeah.
The Joker on that Earth, who was the Red Mask, was trying to connect with alternate versions of himself on other Earths,
right.
And in doing so created multiple Jokers in the same place somehow.
Okay.
But I'm also fuzzy on that.
Yeah.
And I read that much more recently than I read Joker War, so wibbly wobbly.
Alright. You know what? I buy it.
Alright. Perfect.
This has been Batman Talk.
Hell yeah.
Batman's Santa Claus.
Do you have a movie in mind for next week, sir?
I do.
What you got?
So you know that occasionally I will go to a Dollar Tree and just buy whatever to get replacement cases.
Oh, Lord. Oh, no. What atrocity do you have for us to watch next week?
I don't know that it's an atrocity, but it's one that I've picked up a couple of different times.
Okay.
Because it's one of the few single disc ones that are available.
Okay.
But it's a movie that had, usually, I replace the case and then I turn around and I sell to GameStop or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. I never bother watching it, but this time, I'm saying let's watch it. It's called Terminal.
Okay.
It's got Margot Robbie, Simon Pegg, and Michael Myers.
Okay. I haven't seen the movie, but I feel like I've seen maybe the poster for this,
Okay.
or at least scrolled past it on one of many streaming services.
Probably.
So, yeah.
It is on Hulu
Okay.
for those who want to follow along. But I guess it's some sort of crime thriller, noirish kind of thing.
Sure.
Figure I need to venture away from horror as much as I possibly can sometimes.
Yeah.
So picking this one.
Nice. I mean, you picked a political thriller last time, so
That is fair.
so you're already away from horror.
Oh, by the way, I hear the new Godzilla movie is incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna go see it?
I also thought the trailer for the new Godzilla X Kong movie that looked really fun.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, that's out there on the interwebs. For you.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only trailer I've seen recently is Furiosa.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't watched that one yet.
It's pretty.
All right.
Mad Max.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, I don't like her.
Chris Hemsworth doing his actual voice.
Ooh, okay.
Possibly.
Interesting. Wait, Chris Hemsworth or Tom Hardy?
Chris Hemsworth.
Okay, doing his actual voice?
Yeah.
Does he... Oh, Chris Hemsworth. I was thinking of Chris Pine.
No, yeah. Chris Hemsworth. The
Fucking Hollywood Chris's.
the Thor.
Yes, I gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a prequel to
Yeah.
Fury Road.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Terminal.
Next week.
Tom Hanks. Not that one.
Not that one.
Not the Tom Hanks.
Not the Terminal.
Not the Terminal.
Just Terminal.
Terminal diagnosis.
I was looking on my Roku to see, just in case, where is this streaming, if
Sure.
it is anywhere, and I figured it'd be like on all the free shit. It mostly is. So, if that does give you a hint of what type of movie it is.
Yeah.
But also, and of course, you type in, everything, and like I just kept getting Terminator up until I got to the L in Terminal. And of course, obviously, the Terminal was the first choice.
Yeah.
And then this one. And then a movie called Galaxis.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that is not even close to being spelled like
Yeah.
Terminal. And so I looked at it, and it's a sci-fi movie from the mid-90s starring Brigitte Nielsen and Richard Mall. And I said, well, fuck it, I've got time to kill before Joe shows up. I'm going to watch this.
That sounds right.
I did not, because it was on one of the free services, and had ad breaks, and every single ad break at the end, it just stopped.
Oh.
And it was just frozen on like whatever the last ad was,
That
and I had to
sucks.
keep restarting the Roku channel to get back to it. And I was like, "Oh, this is tiresome. I'm not doing this."
That's not worth it.
Yeah. But also, Sam Raimi was in it for some reason.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
Galaxis.
He gets murdered by Richard Mall. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Richard
What?
Mall. Rest in peace.
Yeah, and I know. I know. I knew he passed away somewhere recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So,
So-
Galaxis next
So
week.
check out Galaxis. We're gonna watch Terminal.
Oh, right. Sorry. Terminal Galaxis.
Margot Robbie.
Goodbye.
Robbie. Bye. Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at our websites view.guttertrash.net or on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Visit our website at view.guttertrash.net for information about our Twitter and Instagram. Once again, thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. We'll see you next time.